everybody, right? That body you living out right now. That body is why you at the bus stop right now. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says, any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. They think the law is a small thing. Separate, man. We are separate from these other nations, man. That's right.
First breath I took, a life too surreal. Second breath I took was the pivot and strike, finish the kill. Influenced by might, with every sentence reveal. I won't pay back, fuck a dollar bill. Remain calm as the pressure build. Die to endure until I let this pump whistle at my foes in memory of Emmett Till. I only live to do my master's will. It's UPK, motherfucker. Ain't no cowards on this battlefield. Gone straight but made greater in my return. Left to my mistakes. Every error was a lesson learned. Now I don't move lest it get approved. Won't take a step till it get confirmed. On the tape, who was made for our sakes. March like a tank. One step will make the ground shake. My people sick in their head. Lord, let this truth spread like an outbreak and bring hell that them crackers can't escape. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I want payback for the scars in enslaved memoirs. Till Christ arrive, I can't let it slide. Ignore the lies. The only free will that's before your eyes. It's life or death, nigga, you decide. This heaven was made for me and my fellow. I patiently wait with my eyes on the sparrow. And I pull a trigger while my lips kiss the barrel. Before I ever let a white bitch do me like Othello. I want out this wicked life like Romello. By any means, this devil pulling strings like Geppetto. Lay hold on this brotherhood, I swear I never let go. And fuck that silver spoon, got too much love for the ghetto. Till the score settle, if need be, I die for the cause. Just to hear them angels applaud. And I'm true by every word I say. Cause I know my victory on the way. You want it? Nigga, walk this way. This life may be hard, but I can't give up. I'm about to go hard and I won't give up. And could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? Cause it's real, I be walking with them angels. Boy, this life may be hard, but I can't give up. I'm about to go hard and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? Cause it's real, I be walking with them angels. Boy, I can't be touched. Can't do it in clutch. They hate but they can't doubt us. We princes of the power, what you know about us? Evil all around us, but a nigga straight. I told you I can't be touched. Only angels walk at my pace. And I'm grateful for the words that had me delivered. I'm hungry for the glory, but I ain't eating till I feed my next. One West, what I die for. Attire out the book of numbers. This rifle from the Archangel Michael. My niggas rebels, you can't deny them. It's 144. I be running to and fro with the Allah higher. My UPK soldiers ain't no phoning or pretending. We in it for the crowns, fuck friends, we want dominion. In the election ascension, I hope I make it through. Give a damn what a bitch think, as long as my niggas know I'm true. Betray your kind and get success. You make it through the eye of the steel, nigga. I be life may be hard, but I can't give up. I'm about to go hard and I won't give up. And could you tell me about the lottery. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop distress the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. Took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with ya. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers can they spit and I ain't listening. Is it effective? If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jacob. Sidewalk, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. As who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Doing life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand it. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Pay. How you real trickin' on the dot? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cow nigga? When he said something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't on who got this gun, it's on who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, this raise up the change. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and see you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like it with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow side, yeah, this the river court. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Shalom, Lord Christ Israel. It's also Qadash with ISUPK. Straight out of 1 West, Harlem, New York, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, Salakia, under command of General Yohana. And we back for another Hebrew language class. Of course, it's known as the LaShawan Quadash, which is our holy tongue. And every day, every week, we need to be practicing going over some little bit of Hebrew so we can get that bit of our culture, our language back.
I got a question.
Sir. I used to always think when I was growing up how nice it was, or how, I guess, unique it was to be in the middle of people. Like, we at the gas station, you hear the Arabics talking in front of you, you don't know what they saying. You know, it's a little power in that. It's definitely some military tactics in that. We can be right in front of our enemies and presses. They don't know what we're talking about. You know, and our language is so efficient, you know, that they got to get through and understand our culture just to understand what we're talking about, even if they get what a particular word is. So, this is definitely one of the things that we need to do on a regular basis, and that is definitely keep going over the language, keep using it. So today we're going to go over some possessive indicators, some prepositions. We're going to give you some vocabulary, and of course we're going to go over the alphabet. And maybe we can even hit some numbers before we get out of here too. And in the future classes, we're going to start putting sentence structures together, breaking down specific verses, and actually seeing how the language was used and how it was written and how we're supposed to understand it in that translation. So let's start it off with Slacky out of one. You want to ask your question?
Yeah, I could. I just want to correct down
Could you
first questions that everybody want to know, like the difference between the Tetragrammaton, like God and Lord, etc.
Qadash. So, you'll see it in the Tetragrammaton. I believe it's written YHWH, and then they pronounce it Yahweh. They're putting the E in it, and in our the original language there is no E's, the water, and then in the ancient.
Do you remember how like you know when they say Yehuda and what's another one? What's another sign that they try to describe the Most High? I know one was Yehuda, another was
Yeah, how would? Oh,
Jehovah, okay, I'll give you that. Jehovah. There's so many different pronunciations. None of them is correct. The only correct way to pronounce his name is what?
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh. So like if you go to the Tetragrammaton and you break down those four that you just pointed out, and then point to how it's written in Hebrew, you will see distinctively that it's what? Different from how they
Right.
with the U and the shoe and all of this.
Yeah, the Qadash, he's absolutely right, because they bastardized the language. I don't know if they did it to make it easier for them to understand it, or just to, but that's what they end up doing with that. But that's a very heavy point, and we should know the difference. We should know the difference, because you'll be out and you'll be hearing the small hats talking, and you think they'll actually be speaking a language, or you might be off a couple words, but that's coming from that. That's coming from their understanding or their mistranslation, the bastardizations of the language. So we're gonna get this alphabet on the board. We're gonna start it off with that. And of course, each Hebrew character at one point represented something, and it still does. It derives from whether it's an object, an animal, something like that. So the I kind of looks like an ox head to the side, and that pronunciation, or a cow. The Bayath, which will be the tent. And when you're looking at those words like that, the tent end up in some down the line end up with the understanding of house. So like your basket, like a basket would have been the same thing as a bag, but you'll understand what they're talking about versus what the context is written in. Your Gamel, they got that from the camel. I'm not gonna be able to put too many up on there, maybe 3 at a time. We're gonna go kind of fast through them. I'm gonna make it a little smaller so I can get more on the board. Maybe try to get 5 or 6 on the board at a time, so we can get through the alphabet. Your Da comes from the Dalath. Your door, the door to the tent. Like if it was drawn out in a little, a little TP, it will be a little flap right there, And that's your door. So that's where the Da came from. And this is giving you some vocabulary too, so Dalath is door. Your Y. represented as a fish hook. Zayan, Yazah, which stands for weapon. Did the same thing, only got 3. And remember, indicators, as we're going to go over, indicators could change the understanding and sometimes definitely the pronunciation of the word, but it makes it a lot simpler. So like when you get an example of like king is Malak, kingdom would be Malak, and then your kingdom or thy kingdom would be Malak Ka. So the ka at the end indicates the possessive. The y in the middle, you know, has its own indicator. But we'll put those indicators on the board. But that's important to understand and have in your mind, because when you start putting words together, you can use them in sentences. You might understand what good means or how means. And now you can start asking a person, how was your day, or how was your peace? That represented the ka, represented defense. So the ta, which is the circle with the X through the middle, comes from the word ta'ak, which represents basket, or comes from basket. You have your ya, which is your yad, which stands for hand. And then you have your ka, ka'at, which stands for, comes from palm, or, you know, the palm of your hand. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We got 11 more to go, and then we'll get into those indicators.